Welcome back. Last time we came here to Amarang and learned that this trolley is our way to get where we need to go, but it needs a big stone robot to move it, and they're all broken, and the guy who knows how to fix them, uh, excuse me, had to sneeze. The guy who knows how to fix them, won't do it. And so now we're trying to solve that problem. Hey, Jarek. Down for maintenance. Not that it'll do you any good, but we do have a Talos we've been meaning to repair. I can show you if you like. It'd certainly be nice to hear something other than Magnus's griping for a change. Okay. Yeah. Show me your Talos. Interacting. Truly a most vexing state of affairs. I thought mayhap a closer examination might yield something of value. Did it? I see. The means to build Talos stone by stone are lost to us, 'tis true. But here before us slumbers a most fine specimen. Indeed, were it not for a few minor failings, it would be in working condition. 'Twill likely require naught but a few modest repairs and a suffusion of ether. Well, if you think you can get the thing up and running, far be it from me to stop you. But what exactly do you reckon is the problem? I should stress that I have performed only the most cursory of examinations, though such arcane constructs are not wholly unfamiliar to me. As I did suspect from the first, it is host to a network of veins through which ether floweth freely. Or so it would, were it not for several fractures which now impede said flow. How in the hell did you get all that from just a glance? I take it you thought up a solution as well then? To bridge these fissures requireth a material highly conductive to ether. Once in place, I believe it will be possible to restore the Talos to life. Might I prevail upon thee to acquire that which we require? Not far beyond the walls of Twine dwelleth a creature of living stone, the Debitage. Full sure am I that stone from such a being would prove most suitable for our needs. Okay. Very good. I shall have Thancred and Minfilia attend me in the remaining preparations. I spied but 3 obstructions to the flow of ether in the Talos, and thus would I ask you to provide 3 stones of the Debitage. All else will be made ready upon thy return. Let's go kill a Debitage, or 3. One. Two. A 3. Thancred and Minfilia will return ere long with the remaining supplies we require. Didst thou succeed in procuring stone from the Debitage? Yes. Fine specimens one and all, you have my thanks. We need now but wait for Thancred and Minfilia's return. From end to end, the paths by which ether may flow through the Talos have been duly mended. They but require a sufficient endowment. It's not moving. Strange, the core refuseth to stir. I fear the condition of this Talos is more dire than I previously surmised. As a heart driveth blood through a man's veins, so doth the core ether throughout this massive frame. Failing its repair or replacement, the Talos cannot be restored. So it was the heart after all. Thou didst foresee this outcome? Well, no, not exactly. We'd never gotten this far in trying to repair it, so we had no way of knowing the heart was the real problem. We tried to find another in case things turned out as they are now, but... Jarek? This isn't really my story to share. Please, Jarek, if something went wrong, maybe we can help. Alright. After all you lot have done for me, I suppose it's the least I can do. Alright, Jarek, what have you for us? The truth hurts. Right then. The Talos, their hearts cannot be made of just any stone. You need a special sort with sufficient ethereal conductivity. But both it and the other materials used in the construction of Talos bodies are mined in the same place. That place, of course, being here, the Hills of Amber. And it was 3 years ago when she... No, I can't. I'm sorry, but you'll have to hear it from Thaf or someone else. Wait, come back. Back to the tavern, then. Okay. Thaf? Still here, eh? You can ask again, but the answer's the same. Our trolleys are... No, tell us of the heart thing. What? God's damn it, Jarek. You could have at least finished, so I wouldn't have to clean up your mess. Seeing how you made such quick progress in fixing that Talos and all, he was probably thinking you could help change things around here. And I think you may be right. Gather your friends, and I'll tell you what you want to know.
Magnus's wife was a miner, you know. Greatest prospector there ever was.
That's not even close to the voice I gave him.
When the golem heart started failing, she was the first to head out in search of more. Problem was, most of the veins ran dry ages ago, and finding fresh ones to tap's only gotten harder. But she wasn't one to be deterred. She just kept digging deeper and deeper. And then the mine collapsed. We labored day and night to clear away the rubble, but it took us 2 months to find her.
Oof.
To find her body. Magnus has never been the same since.
That's rough.
Where is he, if you don't mind my asking?
Ah, yes, well, if he's not here, there's only one other place he'd be.
Drinking at the grave. Can't say I blame him.
What? Oh, you again. How many times must I tell you? The trolley won't run! We'd be better off dismantling the damn thing and selling the parts for scrap. Now, piss off back to wherever you came from. And don't let me catch you around here again.
What were their names?
My son was named Skuli. My wife, Agna. Being here with them, it beats going home. Home stopped being home when I lost them. I thought to try and drown my sorrows, but somehow, the bottle's never deep enough.
No bottle is. Believe me, I know.
You've lost someone too?
Not like you. Not my own flesh and blood. I grew up an orphan, so I never really knew what family meant. Not until I met a man who offered to take me in and make me his pupil. He was a kindly soul, always looking out for me, like a father. Not that I appreciated that at the time, or anything else for that matter. But I finally had a family. And then I robbed a young girl of hers. I did my best to make amends, to offer her comfort. But the more I look back on it, the more I realize just how inadequate my efforts were. I let her down. That is why I refuse to let her legacy die. In the end, all we can do is press on, for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. And that requires your Talos. Please, Magnus. You are our only hope of reaching Nabarth Areng.
What rubbish.
She's not gone. No matter what you say or believe, she's not. We can still bring her back.
Pretty heavy moment there. Are we on, Jay? Full well do I know the pain of loss and how heavily it can weigh on one's heart. Nevertheless, there is but one way forward. We must needs procure a new heart for the Talos. Thaf, knowest thou any location wherein we might find the stone we require? No matter how scant the possibility, we would seize it. I told you near all of the veins were tapped dry years ago, though I suppose if you really wanted to try, you may find something at Nuvi's leavings. It was opened well before Talos became commonplace, which is why the mining there was never quite as deep. But when you get there, look for Guthion and tell him I sent you. But don't be surprised if he tells you the same thing. Thine assistance is most appreciated. Asuka, I think it best Thancred join thee in this search. Though he wouldst be quick to deny it, his heart is in turmoil and his thoughts clouded. 'Twould be unwise to ignore his distress. Alright, let's go find Thancred. Thancred. Hello, Thancred. Off to somewhere, are you? At last, a lead on the stone we need to power the Talos. I can't very well have you go on your own. Lead the way. A convenient distraction. I'd say we're long overdue for a good turn. I can only hope the gods feel the same way. Now, Nuvi's leavings was to the south, was it? Let's get going. Hello, Thancred. The way you described it, I was expecting the place to be abandoned. Perhaps our fortunes are finally improving, though we should probably hear what Guthion has to say before we celebrate, assuming we can find him, that is. Guthion. Or Guthjon? I don't know. Square Enix. This is not a gnome. Oh, there he is. That didn't take long. Who are you, and what are you doing here? Well, you should have listened to that. You're wasting your time. But this site is not as developed as the others, is it not? Surely there must be something left. I should explain. The stone you're looking for is Leonine. All the Talos in the Hills of Amber are powered using them. Or were, at least. Anyway, whatever's left, if anything, is too far below this to be safely excavated. In the deepest reaches of the mine, we use Talos to keep the pathways from collapsing. They're still there, but they could give out at any time, which is why much of the mine is closed off. Then our only option is to search the higher levels for any fragments of Leonine that may have been overlooked. I suppose there may be one other way. Well, don't leave us in suspense. What you're asking for is a trade secret. I'll need to be duly compensated in exchange. Fine, what do you want? The other day I found a Verbert gold piece down in the mines. A bloody Verbert gold piece. And wouldn't you know it, I dropped the damn thing somewhere while I was working. Find it, and I'll tell you what you want to know. You drive a hard bargain, sir, but we'll take it. It seems we have our work cut out for us, Asuka. Thankfully, I have an idea for how we might hurry things along. You do? As I'm sure you've noticed, despite their best efforts to illuminate the corridors, it's rather dark in here, meaning it will be that much harder to find a single coin hiding in the shadows. That's why I propose we use these sun drops. They'll help the eye take in more sunlight, or more light. Why don't you start your search further in, and I'll handle this area here. I'll retrace your steps after, in case you happen to miss it. If you feel the drop's effects wearing off, I can give you more, so don't worry. Ooh. Tancred has given us sun drops. Coin? Are you here, coin? No. Further in. If I were a Verbert gold piece, where would I be? Here? No. What a boot in here. Is there one up here? No. Here? Are you the coin? It's the coin. Tancred, I found the coin. I was hoping he'd drop the gold piece somewhere close to the entrance. More fool me for thinking Lady Luck was on our side. I found the coin. Or maybe she is. Yours, at least. In the end, my contribution was little more than poor company. Well, I couldn't have done it without your sun drops. Come now, Tancred. You're far more prepared for this task than I. No more than usual, I assure you. I only managed to survive the Curthan wilderness and the Imperial capital by virtue of extensive preparation. A habit of mine since childhood, and one of my few positive traits which endeared me to Louis Soir, I imagine. It hasn't been easy finding ways to compensate for my condition. Every tool and trinket has proven vital to my continued success, such as it is. Had I chosen to pursue the arcane arts rather than espionage, well, I'd rather not think on it. So long as I have the means to protect those dear to me, to see my duties through, that's all that matters. Now, let's hurry and see that return to Guthian. The sooner we get back to Urianger and Minfilia, the better. Guthian! You're back? Wait, does that mean... Yeah, it means... I'll be damned, you actually found it. Well... a deal's a deal, but don't think this means you'll find what you're after. Okay. A dirty job. To be honest, I wasn't sure you could pull it off. But you did, and I'm a man of my word. Come with me. Okay. Where'd you go? Outside. Why'd you go outside? Every time I step out of those mines, the sky seems to get brighter. I'd never leave them if the air weren't so stale. But you're not come to hear my grievances, you're after Leonine. First, I have to ask, have you ever heard of rockworms? Rockworms? I know them by another name, though I'm fairly certain the locals call them knockers. Aye, that they do. Whatever you want to call them, those little bastards may be the answer to your troubles. They can fit through cracks and crevices down where we could never hope to reach, and, on occasion, they come back with something valuable. They dig up Leonine in the mines. It's a rare occurrence, but yes. That said, it usually amounts to no more than a few flakes. Well, our only other option sounds tantamount to suicide. So how can we draw out these rockworms? Over by that shack, you'll find a bag full of smoke bombs. Set off a few in the mines, and you'll flush them out in no time. Once they're out in the open, knock them senseless and check their backs. I should warn you that this method of mining, if you can even call it that, is used as a last resort on account of what little they're like to bring back. You want to cover as much ground as you can if you hope to find anything of value. Assuming you do find something, bring it here and I'll have a look. Okay. We should split up if we're to cover more ground as he suggests. If you can cover these 3 areas on your map, I'll see to the parts between them. Okay. Pile of supplies. Alright. Let's go use some smoke bombs. Ooh, a crevice. Okay, I've just got to place the smoke bombs. Alright, and one more spot. Oh. And now there are places to look for rockworms. Oh, another one. Any more in here? No. The circle didn't disappear though. Oh, that's why. Okay. That's one area down. we have to clear 7 total areas. This way. Looks like there's one back there. Okay. Is that it? No, one more. Okay, 2 more spots. I think only 1 more circle to search. Right. Last spot is over here. That's it. Yep. Now we can return to Guthion. There you are. Find anything promising? 7 glittering rocks. Between the 2 of you, I'd say you've got quite a haul. Best get comfortable, friends. It's going to take time for me to sift through all this.
You may not remember this about Arminfilia,
Oh?
but prior to founding the Path of the 12, long before the Scions, she was something of a miner.
Oh yeah.
After her father died, Flamine took her in and taught her the trade. I think they were both seeking to fill the void left by a loved one. Maybe that's why she took to it so readily. Back in those days, I spent most of my time in the Quicksand, or some other tavern, loosening tongues and gathering secrets. Occasionally, I'd catch a glimpse of her in the street, on her way home after another hard day's work. I always felt a wave of relief when I saw she'd come back safe, along with a pang of guilt at the fact I wasn't there to support her as I should have been. Simply speaking with her more than once in a blue moon would have been a good start, but I could never bring myself to do it. Instead, I threw myself into my work and became every drunkard's best friend.
Not your finest hour, to say the least. I don't get to say anything encouraging.
Far from it. And Flamine has never let me live it down. But that was a lifetime ago. Here and now, I have another chance to do things right. And I will not squander it again.
Hey! Come and see what I found!
You're not going to believe this.
Oh?
Tell me it's Leonine.
It is at that. You lot were born lucky. It's mostly broken pieces. But look at this.
This is a rather fine specimen.
It's been decades since we found anything approaching this big. But that's not all. There's an engraving on it.
Ah, these scratches here. They're a little hard to make out. To my beloved Magnus and Skuli.
Yes! Do you see? It was a gift to Magnus from his wife. She found it. She really found it. She must have spent her final hours carving this message into the stone, in the hope that he might see it one day. Those rock-backed bastards must have made off with it before we could clear a path to her. It's fate that brought you here to find this stone. No other explanation. It makes me wonder what else might still be buried in these parts.
Well. I guess we gotta give this back to Magnus, you know. Have a heart. I wouldn't believe it had I not seen it for myself. Before you set it in the Talos, would you take it to Magnus? For 3 long years, he's believed she died for nothing. He must know the truth, that her sacrifice was not in vain. We'll take it straight to him. You have my word. Thank you, Gudjon, for all your help. Right then, let's not keep everyone waiting. I like how this is obviously supposed to be a Wild West town, even down to the church. Magnus. What? Oh, it's you. If you've come to complain about the trolley, you'll find no sympathy from me. I told you before it won't run, and you wouldn't listen. Oh, but it will, now that we have this. Your name is engraved on it, along with your son's. It was a gift from your wife, Magnus, from Agna. No, she couldn't have. Agna. Take it. Do with it what you will. Are you certain? I would delay our plans, it would delay our plans, but... I said take it. It was you who found it, you who needs it. Looking at that stone, all I can see is... Please, just leave me be. I hope you'll be there when the Talos stirs to life. I'm sure she'd want you to see it. would you do the honors of delivering this to Urianger? Okay. Oh, kind of a bummer. Hey, Urianger. Thou art returned, and with Leonine, it would seem. As promised, the Taloth hath been made ready to receive its heart, thanks in no small part to Jarek, Thaf, and Binfilia. At last we shall return time to the timeless, this sentinel of stone, that we may press on towards Nabatharang. Very good. Now let us begin.
Preparations for the enchantment are complete. When the heart hath been suffused with a sufficient quantity of ether, the golem should be restored to life.
All right then. Whenever you're ready.
Oh? We did it.
It's working! It's working! Magnus!
You left me for this? This wretched heap of stone and rubble?
Oh.
This worthless pile of earth? And yet, I can't. I can't.
Where are you off to, Binfilia?
What troubleth thee, child?
I shouldn't be here. I don't deserve to be. I don't deserve any of the things you've done for me. I'm just a burden, helpless and hopeless. If tomorrow came and I was gone, it would be better for everyone.
Oh?
Thancred most of all. He'll never admit it, but I can see it in his eyes. I wish he'd just say it. Just say that he hates me, that he wishes I was dead so that she could return.
None of this is thy doing, child. 'Twas I who set the oracle on her path unto the first. I who condemned you all to suffer these torments. 'Tis my sin alone, and one that will haunt me unto my dying day. Yet I dare not dwell over long on my many regrets, for the world is a tapestry of fates, interwoven and inseparable. And we who strive to better it cannot choose but make difficult decisions. For naught of worth was ever achieved without sacrifice. And thus must man ever struggle to weigh life against loss. The one for whom thou mournest beareth no grudge. Were she here, she would not suffer thee to languish in sorrow. She would tell thee to seek thine own path, thine own purpose. It is a truth which I myself was slow to learn. Yet a truth it remaineth. Thou needst but have faith, and all will be well.
Go to her.
Not today.
Meanwhile, in the Crystarium. Hi, Emmett Selk.
To what do I owe the pleasure that is your extended stay?
Oh, to the tediousness of our hero's present endeavors. That and the insufferable abundance of light in Armorang. I should be glad to keep my distance. Oh, I'm rather fond of sleep, you know. It's a wonderful way to pass the time. Not that my compeers would agree, mind you. Always on the move, the lot of them. Like La Hebrea, constantly jumping from vessel to vessel. Such fire, such determination. So much passion, fleeting and forgotten. Come to think of it, Exarch, I don't believe I've ever seen you retire to your chambers for so much as 40 winks. However do you keep your eyes from closing? The cold shoulder. You wound me, sir. Always so guarded in our every interaction. Interactions you curiously refrain from sharing with the Scions and their champion.
And risk souring your budding relationship? I think not. Much as I dislike you, there are more useful targets for her energies. And I am not in the habit of pointing her at my enemies like a weapon.
Is that right? Fond of her, are you? You continue to fascinate me, Exarch. But tell me, who are you?
Yeah. Who are you?
The once great nation whose ingenuity gave birth to this tower was shaped by my hand. As such, I know full well the wonders it can facilitate and those it cannot. There is nothing in these walls which could have aided you in summoning our dear friend across time and space. Much less in possession of her mortal flesh. Not even I could have performed such a feat.
Huh.
I see. You had a hand in Alag as well. you would know what I am? I am the adjudicator of the sacred history with which you dared trifle. I am keeper of this tower's boundless wisdom. The wisdom of ages without age, of everywhere and nowhere. The great work of those who tamed the wings of time and grasped the nature of the rift. 'Tis a boon born of the sacrifice of brave heroes who gave their lives for a brighter future. I will not see their hopes and dreams squandered. The history which led us here will be unwritten. I promise you that.
Huh.
Well, it seems we're both eager to fulfill our duties then.
On that much, we are in agreement.
We're not even there, and they can't speak plain. Oriange? Mine apologies for the delay. Minfilia and I had a private matter to discuss. Which bringeth me to the question, how didst thou find Thancred during our search? He spoke of Minfilia, of his own accord. I see. 'Tis well that he did, and with such candor. I attempted to broach the subject before. Mine intention was to ensure no words remained unspoken between them, lest tragedy intercede. A regret I myself know all too well. Alas, in the end he refused to heed my counsel. A time will come when they must face the reality of their circumstances, but I have faith that all will be well in time. Now, let us not tarry any longer. The Talos and Nabatharang await. Magnish. Full steam ahead. It's been years since I've seen a Talos in such fine shape. Would that Agna was here to see it, or our son. I was ready to let her dreams die down there in the mines, even after you'd found the Leonine. I refused to believe it could work. Gods, what a fool I was. But I tell you now, I'm going to take good care of this Talos, for both their sakes, on behalf of my family and all the miners of Twine. Thank you. Well, enough chitter-chatter. Let's get you lot in the Batharang, eh? Everything seems to be in order. I take it the Talos's presence resolves the issue of the gate. Oh that, yes. It's designed to open at the Talos's approach. Then we can finally go to Nabatharang. You certainly can. All that remains is a final check of the control box over at the mines. You hear that, boys? Get the Talos over to the mines and keep a close eye on it around curves, you understood? Yes, sir. Let us repair to the mines, then. Okay. Before we go, while you were away with Oscar, I prepared an extra set of cartridges for you. And this one, it's the practice cartridge you gave me. I know I should have thrown it away ages ago, but I've been adding a little extra to it every day. After so many charges, I'm honestly not sure what it will do, but I wanted you to have it, for luck. Minfilia, we should hurry. Magnus and the others are probably wondering where we are. get over to the mines on my Dizzy Turtle. That appears to be propelled by rocket farts. I think it's rocket farts. So this is it. We're finally going to Nabatha. I've thought long and hard about what to say to her, to the real Minfilia. I hoped when the time came I would know, but with every step we take, I feel more uncertain. There's no reason to give up, though, not when so much is at stake. Thank you, all of you, for helping me get here. Now, let's not keep Magnus waiting. Okay. Based on that glow, we are going to end it here, because the next bit is going to take some time, and we should avoid going long. So, next time, we'll pick up right here.